Although there is no scientific proof, it is widely believed that David J. Thompson has co-ops in his DNA. After all, he and his brother Philip were born and raised a mere 40 miles away from Rochdale, England, the birthplace of cooperation. He also hails from a family that can trace co-op membership and public service back to the 1860s. His grandfather was the Conservative Party leader in Oldham, and his uncle was Labour Party mayor of Oswaldtwistle. Both his parents worked for the Blackpool Co-op. David grew up understanding the value of the co-op divvy, as his mum liked to call it. After all, it was the divvy that paid for Christmas presents each year, and even paid for the suit he wore when he left home in 1957 to join the British Merchant Navy. Alas, he was too young at only 15 years of age. He did join the Norwegian Merchant Navy 2 years later at the age of 17, and in 1962, he emigrated to the United States. He settled in California in 1966, where he saw a sign for the Santa Monica Consumers Cooperative Society. David joined the co-op, was elected to the board, and there began his life's work. As one of the 4 founders of Co-opportunity in Los Angeles in 1974, David experienced firsthand the difficulty co-ops had in borrowing money. He thus began lobbying for passage of the Co-op Bank Bill, eventually serving as California's co-chair of this effort. David's outstanding organizational abilities and co-op insights were quickly recognized, and he was tapped to join the newly forming bank. As one of NCB's first employees, David helped set up its regional system and later became director of the Western region. In 1985, he joined NCBA's staff, where he served as Director of International Relations and Western Programs. David quickly built a deep knowledge of co-ops from around the world and solidified his role as a go-to leader within the national co-op sector. He organized the first ICA Central Committee meeting on U.S. soil, represented our nation's co-ops at the ICA's 100th anniversary, where he voted on the cooperative principles, and in 1994, he helped organize the Cooperative Economic Summit and the 150th anniversary celebration of the Rochdale Pioneers. But more than anything, it has been David's volunteer efforts that have been truly amazing. He served for 10 years on the board of Co-opportunity, 3 years on REI's, 17 years on the board of the Davis Food Co-op, and 7 years on the board of the YOLO Federal Credit Union. His work has spanned across the cooperative sector, including housing co-ops, food co-ops, credit unions, and international co-ops. In particular, David has volunteered for more than 30 years as president of the Twin Pines Cooperative Foundation. With the board's support, he has created 26 cooperative community funds throughout the country. This innovative tool provides needed capitalization for cooperative development while providing charitable donations to local communities. His housing efforts also stand out. At the Co-op Bank and with his business partner Luke Watkins at Neighborhood Partners, David has helped create over 1,000 affordable co-op, mutual, and nonprofit housing units throughout California. He worked with HUD Secretary Kemp to organize a cooperative housing summit, and with the Japanese co-ops to establish the Kagawa Fund for Student Cooperative Development. Internationally, David helped change South African laws and regulations to allow blacks to organize co-ops. He then helped launch the first black co-op in Soweto. He also worked for the UN on credit unions in Africa, consulted for cooperatives in 5 continents, and helped raise more than $50,000 in donations from cooperators to assist the co-ops of Kobe, Japan after the devastating 1995 earthquake. David is a respected educator, author, and historian of the cooperative movement. He has informed and inspired many with his knowledge of cooperative history and cooperative economies through such works as Weavers of Dreams, Founders of the Modern Cooperative Movement, which he wrote in 1994, and Cooperation Works, which he co-authored in 1996. He has also penned hundreds of articles about co-ops and was the inspiration and a major contributor to NCB's A Day in the Life of Cooperative America. He even co-authored Rainbow on the Mountain, the history of Co-op Camp Sierra, perhaps partially in tribute to the place where he met his wife, Ann Evans, in 1977. The two married in 1980 and have passed the co-op DNA along to their daughter Hatley and niece Rain Pegg, currently the USDA AMS Administrator. David Thompson's co-op contributions have been so deep and so diverse that it is difficult to enumerate them all. He is an innovator, a statesman, a mentor, and a visionary who has excelled as a leader in every way. His work has done more than create cooperatives. It has paved the way for a cooperative economy and a cooperative way of life. David Thompson has truly transformed the cooperative environment around us, and for this, we honor him tonight with induction into the Cooperative Hall of Fame.